Hey guys, it's Ken here. I just made this short video, or making this short video, for those of you who were not at Tuesday's staff meeting. I'm not going to go over everything we talked about at the meeting, but there was one topic that I think is vitally important to your success in 2013, and a little kind of competition that I've set up, and I want you all to have an opportunity to participate, so I thought I'd make this video and send it to you. The topic is business planning. At the meeting I asked the question to everybody, are you satisfied with what you achieved in 2012? Nobody raised their hand. And I said, so does that mean you'll be satisfied if 2013 is better than 2012? And again, nobody raised their hand. So nobody in our office has been satisfied with their production. So we all want to do better, but here's some cold hard facts from the National Association of Realtors. According to their studies, 17% of agents will do better in 2013, but 34% are going to do the same as they did in 2013, and 49% are actually going to do worse. So the question for you is, which group do you want to be in? Everybody wants to do better, but 83% of realtors are not going to do better. So my job, if you're interested, is to get you into that group of 17% that are going to do better in 2013. Look, here's the deal. If you do the same thing that you did going into 2012 in 2013, it's unrealistic for you to expect a different result. In order for you to change, your outcome to change, you've got to change. Just because the economy gets a little bit better, what kind of an impact is that going to have on your business? My answer is not much. Now that we've gotten through the elections, what kind of an impact is that going to have on you? Not much. If you fall off the fiscal cliff, what's that going to do to your real estate business? I would say not much. I like to sail, and in sailing, you definitely need a wind to take you where you want to go, but it doesn't really matter which direction the wind blows. It matters how you set your sail. It's the things that you control, not all that other stuff out there. The wind doesn't matter. All right, so I think it's really important for you to write a business plan. Most agents don't do it, and I think they don't do it because they don't really know how, and they think it's a lot more complicated than it is. It's really not that complicated. All you simply need to do is write your job description. What kind of business are you in, right? Secondly, determine your goals. What are the things that you want to achieve? And oh, by the way, they'll be much more meaningful if you attach them to a purpose. Why do you want to achieve those goals? It's nice to say, well, I want to make $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 a year, but you need to have a strong and compelling reason to want to achieve that goal. Otherwise, the disciplines that you need to do, quite frankly, are too difficult, and you probably won't do it. Next, you need to identify the specific activities you're going to engage in to achieve your goals. These are the action statements. This is your shopping list when you go to the grocery store. This is your task list. Hugely, hugely important. People that tend to be successful in life are extremely action-oriented, and they know what they're going to do. And then finally, you need to measure and track your progress daily. Otherwise, it's too easy to fool yourself into thinking you're engaged in meaningful activity when you're not. I thought it was really interesting when I was at the NAR convention last month. One of the speakers had done some very significant surveying of a large pool of real estate agents. I think if I remember correctly, he had surveyed over 15,000 realtors across the country, and basically he was surveying how they spent their time. He had them actually track it in a diary, and what was really amazing was that the number one allocation of someone's time in real estate was at 49% was running miscellaneous errands. I'm telling you, if you're spending half of your time running miscellaneous errands, you are not going to be successful in this business. All right, so let's talk about writing a job description. It's simply a matter of identifying the business you're in and what your job responsibilities are. And I love this quote from Bill Fields because I think it sums it up, in my mind, exactly the business we're in. We're not tour guides. Our job is not to drive people around in cars and unlock doors. Okay? A monkey can do that. Where you're going to earn your income is by finding people who have a need to buy or sell real estate. You are in the people finding business. That's my perception. You may have a different one, but I do encourage you to identify exactly what business you're in. Next, you need to set goals. You need to determine what you want to accomplish this year. How much money do you want to make, right? And those goals need to be realistic. If you set your goals too high, you're not going to achieve them and you're going to be discouraged. You can't go from being broke to being a millionaire in a year. That is not realistic. At the same token, realistic also means don't set your goals too low. If you don't set your goals high enough, you don't push yourself to do the disciplines that you need to do to actually have a satisfying career. Secondly, those goals have to be measurable. If there's not something that you can measure, I don't know how you're making progress. And one of the key components of measurement in my mind is there needs to be a deadline. Okay, I say a goal without a deadline is nothing more than a wish. Okay, so it's not just to say, well, I want to sell 20 houses. You need to say, I want to sell 20 houses in the next 6 months, or whatever your goal is. It needs to be defined in terms of a window of time. Now we get into what I think is absolutely the most important part of developing your business plan, and that is to outline the activities that you are going to consistently perform in order to meet your objectives. If you set a goal that you're going to make $100,000 and you know that your average commission from the sales that you do is $5,000, that means that you need 20 listings or 20 buyer sides in a year in order to make your number. If that's the case, then you need to be able to say, okay, well, if I need to do 20 sales and not everything that I list is going to sell, maybe I need 30 listings. In order to get 30 listings, I need to go on 5 listing appointments per listing I get, let's say. So that means I got to go on 120 listing appointments, and I'm just pulling these numbers out of the air. But in order to get 120 listing appointments, I need to make 300 calls. I don't know. You need to know what your numbers are, but that's the way you back into how many contacts you need to make, and then you can have a strategy for how I'm going to make those contacts. I'm going to do so much of it by direct mail. I'm going to do so much of it by calling members of people that are in my sphere, people that know and like me. I'm going to do so many open houses. These are the activities that you're going to do. And again, they should be measurable so that you can see how you're doing on these items over time. Now look, the only way to organize all these myriad of activities and make sure that you get them done is to time block and create a grid. And I'm going to show you what my grid looks like in just a second. But when you time block, the first thing that I suggest that you do, and honestly this is something I'm not very good at myself, is to add in your personal time. This is the time that you're going to spend with your family. This is the time that you're going to spend on your health goals. I put that in there first. The next thing that I do, because you don't have much flexibility of it, is put in all your required meetings and trainings so that you get that stuff done and get the education that you need and that you stay fit professionally. Then, now look, number 3 here is the single most important thing that you do. It is your prospecting time. You need to block out a specific period of time to do that, and it needs to be consistent. It needs to be an appointment that you keep with yourself. And it's not something that you can compromise on. If you decide that you're going to be prospecting every day from 10 to 12 in the morning, that is an appointment that you have with yourself. And the only time that I would ever violate that appointment is if you have the opportunity to go on a listing presentation, because that's the most important, most profitable time that you're going to spend is your listing appointment time. Now, if I do have to encroach on my prospecting activities to go on a listing appointment, I don't just not do my prospecting that day, because then I won't meet my numbers that I need to meet. What I'll do is I'll reschedule it. If I've got to go on a listing appointment at 10 o'clock, I'll do my prospecting that day from 1 to 3. And then you need to have some time built into your schedule to be able to meet with prospects. And when somebody says, oh, listen, I want you to go show me a house, can I go tomorrow at 11? And you get prospecting time at 11, just say to them, geez, no, I'm sorry, I have another appointment. Can we do it at 1? Chances are they're going to say yes. All right, and then the last point I just want to make is, look, you got to spend some time reviewing and updating your plan. You need to look to see how you're progressing on a daily basis. Too many agents that do write a business plan, stick it in their top desk drawer on January 2nd and they don't look at it again until December. The plan's not going to work if you do that. You become what you think about most of the time. So if you think about meeting your goals and you're constantly reviewing the activities that you're supposed to be performing and holding yourself accountable, you've got a much better chance of doing that. And then I suggest that you spend half an hour every week reviewing the past week and also planning the next week. If you plan your week ahead of time, when you come to work on Monday morning, you don't walk in saying, well, what should I do now? Because all you need to do is look at your schedule. Here's an example of what my schedule looks like. I just took this was I think last week, and I literally use my Google Calendar to time block for myself, and this is how I'm going to spend different periods of my time to make sure that it gets done. And here's what's really interesting about doing it this way is that the Google Calendar actually sets up an alert. So 10 minutes before any of these items are supposed to occur, I get reminded, geez, you're supposed to be doing this activity now. And really, for me, it works very well. It helps me stay on track. So I'd encourage you to try this system. And they say it takes 28 days to form a habit. So force yourself to do it for a month, and then I think you'll find that it comes naturally. Okay, so I got a little contest that I'm going to try with y'all. For those of you that are in the cubicle area, you may have noticed that we no longer have any available cubicles. We do have the front room at the other end of the building now ready and set up for agent workspace. And so here's my challenge to all of you. I'd like you to work on your business plan here over the last couple weeks of the year. And I encourage you to bring it to me before the end of the year. We'll spend 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever it takes, reviewing your plan together. And I may have some suggestions for you to tweak it. And I'm going to select the 4 best plans that I receive, and I'm going to allow those agents to select their workspace for next year. If they want to stay where they are, that's fine. If they'd like to move down the hall into the room with a window, you'll have that opportunity again. And I'm telling you, I predict that the people that have the 4 best plans are also going to have the best year too. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you have any questions, come see me, give me a call. I really want to see you have a great year in 2013, and I know that you can. All right, have a great day.